Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Murdoch DeFi YouTube channel. And in today's video, we have a video where we're going to be talking about a project that I think, really, I found out about these guys a couple weeks back, maybe even a little bit longer when Optimus was really doing really well. They kind of came out. I think somebody sent it to me in the premium group, and I was able to join their Telegram with just a couple members in it. So I've been kind of following along their journey for some time now, and as they get closer and closer to actually launching, they decided to share some information with me. Yesterday, I actually had an opportunity to meet with the developers, and they were able to show me some of the bots that they're going to be using. And I want to make this video to talk a little bit about that. Full transparency, this is a paid review from the developers over at Megatron, but I want to make sure that this review is not a biased review. I do have some hesitations with this platform or with this protocol in general, and that's what I want to talk about today. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Like I said, found out about this protocol a little while back. And essentially, they came out and they were going to be an Optimus or OPT3 fork, right? Where they have this AI trading bot, and that trading bot is going to be allowing you to earn 1% daily in passive income. So just like Optimus, this is just another rebasing protocol that has a couple of bots attached to the actual token, which will be called MGT once it launches. However, from what I saw yesterday on our Zoom meeting, there's a couple different bots. I believe he says he has 3 total bots. I've seen 2 of them. Now, obviously, this token is not something that is launched yet, so these bots were, he was able to show me like the scripts that they run, some of like the actual UI. It's all branded towards Megatron, so it does look like it's their bots specifically. But from my knowledge on bots, looked like at least one of the bots was kind of like a grid trading bot, and then another bot that helps control the price of MGT. Now, all 3 of these bots are only set to be used on the MGT token. So right away, my biggest concern was that they were not using any bots to generate income outside of only trading the MGT token. So in my opinion, we've seen the trajectory of Optimus, and this is no different, right? They're essentially creating a token that just inflates and inflates and inflates 1% per day, paying out to holders, right? So this is not something that will become deflationary. Probably not, just like Optimus will probably never become deflationary in nature. So that's always something to take into account, right? And even though we've seen recent issues with Optimus, and now they're getting ready to change some things up and launch OPTX, these guys over at Megatron have still not decided to implement some of these things that we know are known issues. So if I could read a little bit from our conversation yesterday, one of the questions that I did ask, I said, okay, well, let's just say, so since they have bots that are controlling the price of MGT, I just said, well, okay, let's just assume MGT is at $1 and a big buy comes in and pumps the price 5%. I asked if the bot would sell back down to $1, right? Because one of the things that we've seen with Optimus is like their bots sell back down to the price it was before a big buy came through, right? So they say that instead of the bot selling 5% of that 5% pump, it would only sell around 3%, which would essentially cause the price to be able to continue to appreciate, which I know is something that we didn't really get to experience too much with Optimus, right? It was only really the reverse of that, right? Bunch of other stuff as well. So really, one of the bigger questions that I asked these guys, these developers, is how they choose or how they plan on accounting for or how they plan on generating revenue outside of the bot that's just trading the MGT token. Because as we know, that is very unsustainable and it only lasts for so long. And given that I would say that the hype of Optimus is not there anymore, and everybody kind of understands how the protocol works and things to look out for and how things could typically go. That's not a good combination, right? Especially if they don't have a way to generate revenue outside of just trading or just having their bots trade the MGT token. So they said for the first 30 days of the protocol, this is specifically what they're going to be focusing on, is only trading the MGT token. And after that, they might look into implementing other ways to generate revenue for the protocol. Which for me, I want to see them generating revenue for the protocol from day one, right? If this is something that I'm going to put my money into, then that's all stuff that I want to see. I want to see trade logs. I'm not doing this trust me type of stuff anymore. But they said after the first 30 days, they're going to be putting it to a vote on if they need to decrease rebasing rewards or whatever, just like Optimus has done. So that is that. Let me see what else I did ask these guys as well. So another big question that I did ask them was in regards to how they plan on launching, right? And I know that they planned on doing a pre-sale. And here was my hesitation with doing a pre-sale, right? We all see how big pre-sales go, right? For instance, we just watched what happened with the True Seekers launch. We've seen a big raise, $1.9 million in capital raised for their pre-sale. And even with a 15% sale tax, you had a lot of people that got in on the pre-sale dumping those tokens, right? Just imagine what that's going to be on a token that has zero buy and sell tax. So it's going to be super volatile at launch. And this could go one of two ways, right? Like this could allow the bot to accumulate a lot of funds. But also, on the contrary, if there's a bunch of people dumping tokens and the bot continuously has to buy back in, then that's also going to help liquidate the bot and reduce the amount of money that those bots or like the funds that those bots have to trade with to keep the price on an upward trajectory, right? So that's something that I'm worried about looking at this from an investor's point of view. I did ask him what kind of parameters that they have set for the pre-sale, and they were kind of undecided. He did throw around a couple of different numbers, one being 100K soft cap, a 200K hard cap, and then the other being a 75K soft cap and 150K hard cap, with a max contribution of $1,500 in BUSD. So I did give him my input and said that that's probably too big of a pre-sale. That's just my opinion based on the information that we've seen, not only recently in the bear market, but for a lot of these projects that have really, really big pre-sales. I did also ask how they plan to use the pre-sale raise or the funds raised from the actual pre-sale. I asked if that those funds go straight to the LP. He said 51% of the funds raised from pre-sale, and this might change. There's still some things undecided, but this is what I was told. So 50% or 51% go to the liquidity pool, and the rest will be used for marketing and in partnership for a centralized exchange listing and for bot trading as well. So giving the bots some initial capital to be able to trade with makes sense to me. But let's check out the website here. And this first thing, right? AI trading bot. Megatron is an AI trading bot that will generate revenue for MGT holders. Megatron earns about 1% a day just by trading the MGT token. This is completely hearsay, really, because these bots, since these bots right now are set to only trade MGT tokens. There's no way to know how much revenue or how much money that those MGT bots can earn, because like I said, like these things are just not live yet. So that's something that I would look at potentially changing, because like I said, they don't know, right? And I think it's important to say, for transparency's sake, that I'm no way affiliated with these guys. I just happened to find their project earlier than a lot of people, and kind of talk with the developers and open a relationship and dialogue with them. But that's really, I mean, that's really the bulk of the information that they have on their website. They do have a little white paper here, but this is all kind of self-explanatory stuff. We already know this is essentially an Optimus fork. There's zero fees. There's no buy and sell tax. You just accumulate 1% of your holdings per day directly into your wallet, just like any other rebasing protocol. That inflates the supply by 1% a day. And as the supply starts to inflate, the harder and harder it becomes to keep the price up and to the right, when we're looking at the charts. So I think that's very important to understand. But for me, if I'm looking at this from a risk and wanting to invest standpoint, based on the information that they've told me so far, I'm probably not going to be jumping into this. That's just me, because as it is right now, with the way that they currently plan on launching, it's just going to repeat what happened with Optimus. Now, of course, this is super high risk, and by no means am I advising anybody else to invest into the protocol. Like I just said, myself, I have some worries with the protocol, and there's some red flags for me. So I wanted to put this information out there, and this is probably not what they want to hear, but I'm giving my honest review of the protocol, right? Unbiased. Now, if they go in and make adjustments or make changes, of course, I'll keep you guys updated. But as it sits right now, this is something that I'm probably not going to invest in. Maybe I'll put a small amount of risk capital in, but based on my knowledge of pre-sales and how they typically tend to go, I probably will not be jumping into a pre-sale. If I can catch the price on a dip after, the typical pre-sale dump, and if it starts to pump after that, because it could, in all reality, it could pump, but based on, like I said, just my past experiences, that's probably not very likely. But if they, like I said, if they go and they make changes to the protocol, if they implement different fees, especially if we know that other protocols like Optimus are starting to do that, like they understand that this is not sustainable. They need to implement these certain things to make it more sustainable, even if that who knows, those stuff that they're going to implement might not even help the protocol, right? But if they choose to make some changes and get to a place where the protocol launches from a point where it's more different than what Optimus is right now, then sure, I might change my mind and look at going in things differently. Then overall, the team talking to them has been pretty cool. They've answered all my hard questions, and I wasn't being easy on them by any means. Obviously, that's how I found out all this information. But I think it's important to do that, right? I think it's important to have these tough conversations with protocols. Even if you're like the majority of you guys are not YouTubers and you don't have that capability where you can just jump in DMs with the developer. So this is why I'm trying to do that, right? And use my channel here and the following that we have to help bring better information to you guys, and hopefully you guys understand that. By no means am I trying to shill Megatron or anything like that. I just know that a lot of people have been asking me about this protocol. So I've taken the time out to meet with the developers and get the information that I want and be able to pass that on to you. And hopefully you can make an informed decision on what to do when they go about launching. That being said, guys, I think that covers everything that I wanted to talk about. I know that there wasn't too much information here on the actual screen, but I did have a lot of stuff to talk about based on the conversations that I had with the developers yesterday. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.